Welcome back. We've been talking about integration management for the past 15 minutes or so. Let's continue our discussion. I showed you commonalities in expert judgment being used in every single process as a tool and technique, and then we talked about analytical techniques being used in these two. What else can help us understand project integration management? A key thing is, remember, your project charter is an output of developed project charter. Here we've got our project charter. Another key thing to remember, also remember it's the only output. Also remember your project management plan is the only output of developed project management plan. Okay? So those two are straightforward enough. Taking a look at other things, once we have developed our project management plan, we need to have a bunch of meetings. I'm sorry to make it sound like that because meetings can be of value. They're not always hopeless. Some meetings, when well done, are really priceless. So, once your project management plan is developed, you have a series of meetings to get the project moving or to assess where you are. So, guess what? From the moment your plan is developed, meetings run you over. They begin to appear. So we've got meetings everywhere as a tool and technique once your project management plan is developed. See? Meetings. Meetings. What do we do in these meetings? Well, in executing, when the work is being driven, there could be performance reviews. Those are meetings, right? When we are monitoring and controlling the project work, we need to analyze status, find out where we are, take a look at the work performance information, put it into a sensible context to create a report with the team. Meetings. Talking about performing integrated change control. What does the change control board do here? Meetings. To ask questions and to make up their minds as to if the change should be approved or not. What are we doing? Closing. In closing, we need to have meetings to make sure that the project is indeed complete and to find out lessons learned and to also have post-mortem analysis, depending on if it's for phase or project. All that stuff, we need meetings, and that's why meetings is a tool and technique. Now you might ask, what about initiating and planning? This is how I get my head around it. Of course we need to have meetings with some folks in order to do that. But the PMI make the language a little bit sophisticated. They call it facilitation techniques. So in order to put your project management charter, your project charter and your project management plan together, you're going to have to use facilitation techniques to facilitate these meetings of the mind. And for that reason, you've got facilitation techniques. See? Here as well. Facilitation techniques. See? So when you take a look at these ITTOs, just by me giving you some blanket statements, they all use EEFs and OPAs except the last one. They all use expert judgment. When you get done with your plan, you're going to have a bunch of meetings. Analytical techniques are used to assess where the project is and if it should be closed out on the phase, on the project level. The project charter is a unique output. Project management plan, unique output. Work performance data is a unique output. Something else that you get in direct and managed project work is deliverables. Deliverables. And those deliverables are going to be sent to the control quality process for review and to find out if we can actually verify them. And if they are verified, then they become accepted deliverables in scope. But that's a totally different discussion. Taking a look here, something else that jumps out at me as far as possible outputs is change requests. You know, from the time you start working on your project, in executing and monitoring and controlling, you're going to have change requests. Now, you can't have change requests as an output from the process you are reviewing the change request. You know, you are either going to accept the changes, the change requests, or you're going to reject them. And if you reject them, it put the changes into a change log. So let's take a look here in monitoring and controlling, and here I'm just going to call them CR, change request, and we could also have change request here. See? So those are the only two processes in integration where you can have a change request. You can't have a change request here because that's where you review them. You can't have one here because the projects come to an end.